I'm telling you that these sociopaths in the White House, part of Project 2025, MAGA first, whatever the hell, they do not care about anybody except themselves, their rise to power, their rise to fortune, and their level of control. They are putting so many humans at risk and they don't care about it. So is it vaccines that cause autism or is it Tylenol? Which is it? What is it now? So my master's degree is in toxicology. So I know about research, scientific research. And I got to tell you, long before vaccines were invented, long before Tylenol was invented, we have always had autism within the human race. Characteristics of autism described since we first began putting things down in words. And when you are a scientist, the scientific community, trying to find a causal effect between something and something else, you have to consider that autism existed before these things that you're alleging cause autism. This is one of the big reasons why the scientific community is not getting around any solid cause for autism, okay? But you've got JFK Jr., who uses voodoo science. All of the conspiracists online who make a ton of money rely on voodoo science. The scientific world works together. I don't know if you know this, but research over at Johns Hopkins will work with a hospital over in the UK. They all work together, they compare their studies, they formulate what the next plan is, they form a consensus, okay? And JFK Jr. and his band of misfits use voodoo science research one-offs by unscrupulous researchers that don't even use the proper format for conducting these studies. This is why you have a scientific community that's not coming out and saying this definitively causes autism. What is also happening is that this administration is feeding their base their addiction to conspiracies, and it's getting more severe. The conspiracies are just getting heightened in their intensity, and it's putting humans at risk. And the reason they're getting more intense is because everything is falling apart around this administration under their leadership. Everything is falling apart. So now they're going to throw Tylenol under the bus, and they're fucked. Tylenol is owned by Johnson & Johnson, and Johnson & Johnson donates mostly to blue, something like 56% to Democrats, 44% to Republicans. I mean, it's better than being all red, right? But these companies need to start really paying attention to what's going on, and they need to intentionally choose not to donate to Republican candidates going forward because it's not going to stop at Tylenol. Okay? So this administration doesn't care how it's affecting business. And Johnson & Johnson is huge, and they own a ton of subsidiaries, including the one that makes Tylenol. This is horrible what they're doing. Here's the other thing. So now you got, I don't know how many million, more than a million MAGA parents who are not going to vaccinate their kids. So now their kids are going to be exposed to things they never used to be exposed to, and they're going to get encephalitis, like swelling of the brain, which causes a fever. And what's the number one fever reducer that, like, literally at times keeps your infant or your young child alive? Children's Tylenol. So now they're not going to treat with that either. Like, this is crazy. And my concern is the escalation of the intensity of the conspiracies, including attacking left-wing ideology with Charlie Kirk shooter and you name it. Like, it's not going to end. And as they get more desperate, their conspiracies are going to create more desperation to unwitting humans and businesses. That's what I think.